I don't let anyone ever tell me that I can't do something. And if I set my mind to something, literally nothing can stop me. You know what your vision is, and you're gonna pursue that. And as you pursue that, and you will push through all of those barriers that people put up, or maybe you put up inside of you. And believe me, at the end, you can accomplish anything that you, as now is a little bit more a cliche, that you set your mind to.
Your journey from a little kid from Toronto, moving here, and tell us about that journey into TV shows, and now what, 4 restaurants in New York where it's so competitive. Okay, let's start with your journey first.
So my dad's a chef, my mom is a model and actress actually. Both from the Philippines. My dad's from Batangas, mom's from Cebu. They moved here separately, met in Toronto, and then I was born. So I was born there, spent 10 years in Toronto, then moved here to Manhattan Beach, California, and I was here for another 10 years. Ended up going to school at Cornell University, upstate New York, and pretty much once I went there, that was a transition out of the West Coast. And then I've been in New York now for the past 14 years.
Did you always want to be a chef?
Not always, but I can tell you that I started to develop and grow an affinity for cooking at the age of 8 and 9. And then by the age of 10, I served my first dish to a paying customer, which I still remember to this day.
Where was that?
So it was at a restaurant called North 44. My dad was a sous chef. So he would bring in his kid. So every summer, winter, fall, and spring break, when I was here, I would leave for the breaks, go back and see my dad in Toronto. And my dad being a chef, you know, he can't take off those chunks of time. So I ended up just working in the kitchen with him. And so when I'll never forget this, when I was like 14 or 15, he called me over, and you know, he's a little bit stoic and, you know, doesn't let off too much emotion. He came up to me and said, listen, do you see everyone in that kitchen? It was like a nice little pep talk. And he said, you're better now than everyone there, and they're all in their 20s and 30s. And I went, okay. And then that's when I loved it at 9 or 10, but that's when I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna be.
Was it a father talking to his son, or was it a chef finding something special in somebody with a promise?
Wow, no one has ever asked that before.
I ask great questions, right?
That's good. Knowing my dad, I think that's his way of trying to be a father. However, I will tell you that it was definitely just a chef seeing something promising in a youthful cook.
Right, right. And what was that experience like? Because also, when you have a chef for a father, you kind of want to carve your own way, right? Yeah. If he's specializing in a specific cuisine, you want to do a different one. Was that the same for you?
Our palates match a little bit, but yes, I definitely wanted to carve my own path and make my own way. But I still, to this day, he's an inspiration and he's a mentor, and I totally take all of his advice. I listen to it, I don't necessarily apply it,
right?
But I definitely listen, and him and I have a great rapport now, because as I've grown into a more astute business person and really have found my voice and my skill level in terms of cooking, it's become now just a mutual respect for each other in the kitchen.
Which is my next question, because they say that when you're a creative, you're a creative. It's difficult to mix business. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of creatives, you know, designers, chefs, they would have their own business managers to make the business decisions. Right. But you have seemed to develop in both.
It's been an incredible journey that's been constantly evolving. No one month is like any other. Right. But I will say it's something that I've definitely am very passionate about, and I'm actually I'm in the process of developing a company that cultivates that type of talent and allows them to do more than just cook, or do more than just food influence, or do more than just try to be in the media. I think all three are definitely accessible and tangible, but it's a tough world to navigate.
We are in the world in the era of multi-hyphenate, right? You can't just be one. You can't just do one thing. It's different things, right? Acting and modeling, you mentioned that. I'm guessing that the chef comes from the dad, but your mom is an actor and a model, right? Did you ever dabble in that too?
So I modeled. I modeled for a little bit when I was younger. When I was a little kid, I modeled when I was in my late teens, early 20s. And then I kind of just stopped because I love food. I love cooking. But funny enough, now I've had shows on, I've been on almost every major network.
Right, say it.
Yeah, so I got, So I've been on, E! I was the personal chef for the Kardashians for 1.5 years. And then I've been on Food Network. I've had my own shows on Food Network, on Cooking Channel, been on Fox, CBS. And then I really kind of struck like gold with Selena Gomez. Her and I did a show together on HBO Max, and our episode was one of the biggest and most highest rated of all HBO Max original series, actually. And then that led to my Netflix show, which is still out now.
Right, right. So was it something that you kind of aspired to do, the celebrity chef status, or was it something that fell on your lap because of the way you look?
Yeah, no, honestly, that's a great question.
You're a good chef and you're pleasant to look at. You're a good speaker. It's no wonder you have all these shows. So was it something that you kind of aspired to do, or I'm talking about the TV and the celebrity chef status, or was it something that fell on your lap because of the way you look?
Yeah, no, honestly, that's a great question, and I fought it for many years. I even
didn't want to do it.
Never. Okay. Actually, legitimately never.
Because you have stage fright, or
no? I'm a chef, and I love cooking, and I love. Well, here's what drives me. What drives me isn't money, isn't fame, isn't recognition or accolades. It's actually the hum of a room that you create an amazing atmosphere with, the click clanking of the cutlery, the plates sliding across the table, people laughing, and that murmur and that energy. That's why I do what I do. And being able to create that is magic. So that's why I do it. So I don't care about really anything else, because if I can create that, then I'm happy. That's what I've always wanted to set out to do. But I think from, given maybe the genetics and my mom and whatnot, yeah, I haven't been able to escape TV. I've been in front of cameras now for the better part of like 6-7 years, and so I figured, you know what, I'm not going to look like this forever, so might as well try to strike with iron's hot.
Right. You know what's in your future? I can see also authorship in your future, because the way you have with words, right? Is that why?
I'm working on, yeah, I'm working on 2 different literature pieces right now.
Right. Yeah. So that's exciting. You better call us when you're ready to talk about that.
Of course.
But the restaurants, you now have 3 Flipsigis in New York and Carriage House.
Well, the others are Chicago, New York, and Jersey.
Tell us about Flipsigi.
So Flipsigi is a fast casual Filipino taqueria. Filipino foods, Mexican vessels. So it's like sandwiches, tacos, bowls, burritos, with a little bit of Filipino love sprinkled on top. And the reason for that is, I think, we all need different ways to access new foods. So I felt, okay, Flipsigi can just be the entry level. It doesn't have to be fully authentic. And it can just be something where people are familiar and hear the Filipino terminology and understand Filipino flavors without diving too far deep into diniguan or balut or kare-kare, right? So, or even bagoong. So like, I figure, okay, let's just give them adobo and sinigang and just some
comfort,
ube. And then they can go somewhere else. They can go to Queens if they want to try the authentic stuff. So that's why Flipsigi was there. I believe that our cuisine, our culture, is gonna be the next sushi, the next Chinese takeout. Like, I think like we should have a position in that pantheon of well-known foods all around the world, because we're an amalgam of China, of Spain colonization, and of course the U.S. occupation, and because of that, we have access to the pretty much 3 out of what I'd say are the 5 most popular countries for food around the world, and that's all combined into one culture and one flavor.
And even within the Philippines, each island or each has its own distinct flavor and the way they cook things, right? It's just amazing. So what would you say would be your top 5 favorite Filipino foods?
Top 5 favorite Filipino foods. Okay, in no order, because that's gonna take too long. Yeah. But I'll give you 5. Yeah. Lumpia, sisig, bulalo. Yes. Adobo, and barbecue pork skewers.
Oh wow! Right. Did you say sinigang? No sinigang.
No sinigang. It would be 6 if you gave me 5, so 6.
But you did say bulalo. I love bulalo too, right? And you know what's also clicking to me now, because of your Batangueño blood, right? Bulalo. It's so popular there in Taal, right? There's a lot of bulalo.
That was the first time I tried it. Actually, like it was like 2018. Wow, it was a while ago. 2018 was the first time I tried it there, and I was like, this is I didn't know what it was at the time, but they sent it out. I took me and 15 members of my family out. I was like, I'll take you all out to dinner, and we did it. And I thought I was gonna like fork over a crazy check. I think the whole thing was like, I'm not joking, I think the whole thing was like $52 for like American USD for 16 of my family members to eat. And the main dish there was bulalo, and I was like, this is
With the bone marrow, and then the dip, the patis with calamansi.
Yeah, and the broth, and I was just like, I've never had anything like that before.
Right. Yeah. Amazing. Carriage House, you have just opened?
Yeah, 30 days, it's 1 month.
Right, tell us about that.
So Carriage House is I'm calling it global new American cuisine with through the eyes of a New Yorker. And I really have taken inspiration from other restaurants and chefs that I respect and revere in the city. And I've tried to honor them, pay an homage to them with my menu. So it's very eclectic. It's from literally completely all over the world. There's no rhyme or reason to this menu. There's pasta, there's jasmine rice, there's peri-peri chicken, there's Calabrian sweet chili vinaigrette. But I think it does speak to the New York diner, and it's also hyper seasonal and local as well. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, me and my chefs, we go to Union Square Farmers Market and we handpick every single leaf that you get in your salads, each leaf, and we combine them together. And we get all of our tomatoes, anything we can get, we just truck it over and we walk it from Union Square to the restaurant. So you know that when you're eating at Carriage House, it's the freshest ingredients that you possibly could get.
But let's talk about adobo, because there's many ways to cook adobo. How do you cook your adobo?
Okay, my adobo is taken from my Lola, the one from Batangas. And the way she makes it is...
Now we know how you cook your adobo. How I wish we could have done this in the kitchen, but another time.